and they were like stars in this community.
I was amazed at the sense of connection that the members of the Evansville community have.
It'll take some time to determine the exact cause of the plane crash, but one thing for sure, it will take even longer for the sorrow and shock of this tragedy to wear off here.
Evansville is a college city known for its small-town feel, with the small-town connection shared by its inhabitants. The University of Evansville Purple Aces served as the heart and soul of the town. It's where you go for your entertainment, where you meet up with your friends, and where you connect with the people in your community. And in the state of basketball, they love their boys most of all. The Aces truly were electric at their peak, winning 5 national championships between 1959 and 1971, highlighted by Jerry Sloan leading the way to back-to-back chips in the mid-60s. They weren't just slapping around small division teams either, knocking off powerhouses like UCLA, Purdue, and Notre Dame. Fans were killing to see these guys. Longtime sports anchor Mike Blake stated the tickets were very hard to come by. If you didn't have tickets to the Aces game, you were hoping for somebody to die, because that's the only way that you're getting in. Despite being a Division II school, attendance for Roberts Stadium was top 10 nationally at this time, even among major D1 schools. Connections with fans like this is very rare to come by, and without living through a relationship of this sort, it's truly hard to imagine how this can even come about. This team was looked at as the heaven of small-town basketball. Sports Illustrated's Frank DeFord came to the town during the team's run, calling them the best small college basketball team in the nation. The team's ridiculous backing and undeniable success forced the NCAA to take these guys seriously. And 1977 marked the first year that the Aces were to play at the Division I level. This was the year of change for them. They brought in a new head coach after Aaron McCutcheon's 31-year run, and were ready to compete at the highest level in college basketball. The Aces Division I debut was spoiled by the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, followed by another loss to Chicago's DePaul University. The magical moment came the following game when they finally snagged their first win against the Pittsburgh Panthers. In what could have been the start of something phenomenal, the next task once again proved to be too tall, matching up against Larry Bird's Indiana State. Following the 1-3 start, it was hard to deter these fans. They were in with them no matter what. The team was set to face off against the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders and entered into the team plane the night of December 13th. Air travel was one of the many new things this season. Now being a Division I team, they had taken the bus to every game in the years prior to this. 14 of the Aces boarded the plane on this cold and foggy night, as well as 15 coaches or staff members of the team. The aircraft took off with an unusually high trajectory, then immediately took a sharp turn to the left. It quickly became noticeable that the plane was not in operating condition. The pilot's failure to remove the gust locks along the right aileron of the plane, as well as overloaded baggage compartments, had quickly caused the plane to lose altitude. The plane mowed down trees and branches in the surrounding neighborhoods while violently shaking side to side. There was no way to operate it in this condition. Despite the attempt to regain the lost altitude, the plane took a nosedive for a nearby hill. As the plane collided into the hillside, the aircraft exploded into a ball of fire, with remaining pieces flying in all directions. Many of the first responders were residents in the nearby neighborhoods. The site was hard to reach at the edge of a ravine, with the rain, fog, and heavy smoke making it all much harder to access. As emergency responders arrived, the site seemed out of a horror movie. Tragically, only a handful of passengers survived the immediate impact of the crash, with bodies hurled over 100 feet from the wreckage. Sorting out the horrifying mess in front of them, a fireman noticed the banner and U of E bags among the wreckage, before uttering the infamous words, "Oh my God, it's the Aces." Of the 30 on board, freshman Greg Smith was the only one aboard the plane that survived long enough to be rushed into an ambulance. Shortly after reaching the hospital, Smith was the final passenger pronounced dead from the crash. Media outlets on the scene quickly reported on the incident, with the story bombarding the press the next morning. The impossibly tough task of telling their tightly tied community that 30 of their neighbors, classmates, friends, and family were killed shocked the town, infamously going down as the night that rained tears. Without any notice, countless students started to gather at the new chapel, the place of worship on the campus, to share respects, tears, and agony of the horrors that occurred. Family members gathered at the community centers to see their past sons or brothers for one last time. Just weeks after packing the stands to watch their boys play, the seats were packed once again as a memorial was held in the gym, garnered over 5,000 people paying their respects. The tragedy gained national attention, with supporters coming in from every which way. Even the Pittsburgh Steelers helped out playing a charity game against alumni to raise money for the victims' families. With an entire program losing their lives in the incident, there was yet one Purple Ace player that night who didn't board the plane. 18-year-old freshman David Furr was out for the year with an ankle injury, leaving him in Evansville for the game. In what you could call bad luck, or an act of fate, the world works in strange ways sometimes. Just 2 weeks after the horrifying night, David was out driving with his little brother Byron, before crashing into an oncoming pickup truck, killing the both of them, and the last of the Purple Aces team. Thank you all for watching if you made it this far, and rest in peace to those who lost their lives.